So the Young Turks tried to cancel Joe Rogan and almost got canceled themselves. Check this out. My name is Nate the Lawyer. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so most of us know the news media was trying to cancel Joe Rogan. And why were they trying to cancel Joe Rogan? Well, it's simple, right? Because Joe Rogan was a threat to that media infrastructure, right? First, they went at him for COVID misinformation. Then they tried to go after him for racism, right? He's a racist. Now, if anyone's watched the Joe Rogan Experience at any time, you know the guys that are racist, right? It just, to call Joe Rogan a racist is ridiculous, right? So how are they able to do it? Well, India Ari, she tweeted out this video, which is a montage of Joe Rogan saying the N-word. And it was totally out of context. Here's a clip from that video.
You've already said is just like saying she's calling you a like this boy that he's a but starts calling them. There should be a word like say and he couldn't say.
Now, even Joe Rogan said that video looks horrible. It looks bad, right? Here's his apology video about that video.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me.
So we see what's going on, right? They were essentially trying to cancel Joe Rogan with him saying the N-word out of context. And the first thing I want to mention about the N-word and just saying the N-word, there's a difference between calling someone the N-word and discussing the N-word, right? So if we want to talk about the N-word and I say, well, this word has a long history, and I use the word, the difference between the ER, the between the A, we can have a conversation about it, even casually, and I'm not using it in a racist manner, right? Just saying the word isn't racist. The racism comes is when you're using it as a racial slur, right? There's a contextual piece to it, and everyone understands context matters. Now, I also want to be clear. Joe Rogan did say some things that were racist. He even admitted that he said some things that were racist.
And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab and we got dropped off in this all black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining. And I said, we got out and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race.
But in the context of how he was saying it, he wasn't saying it as a racist or to be racist. It was a slip of the tongue. And if saying something that's racist one time makes you a racist, then I'm a racist. Because I've said racist things, I've said sexist things, I've said anti-trans things, I've said anti-LGBTQ things, I've said things about black people that could be considered racist, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm a racist, right? Because I've had some moral failing. It happens. Sometimes you misspeak, sometimes you're uneducated. So just saying something that may be perceived as racist doesn't really mean you're a racist. You learn and you say, okay, well, I understand why what I said was wrong, and we move on. That's why I love my fans. My fans understand. If somebody said something that may seem a little crazy, that doesn't mean they should be canceled. That means they should be educated. So in comes the Young Turks. They're trying to cover the story of Joe Rogan, and they're pro canceling him, right? He should be stopped. So listen to how they describe Joe Rogan's use of the N-word.
But he was so comfortable saying it, whereas it gives everybody pause hearing it, or I shouldn't say everybody, it gives good thinking people pause just to hear it. He's so comfortable saying it. And it was really disturbing. It's really disturbing that so many people defend him.
Yeah, I understand. So some people were defending him even in that thread, saying, yeah, but they're leaving out the context. I mean, I like to think that I have an open mind and I can conceive of vast, complex worlds of possibility. How much context could there exist to say the word that many times? I mean,
so at the end of that, as you heard, he says, how could it be out of context if somebody's saying it that many times? What context can you use to say it that many times? But let's now flip it to the Young Turks, because someone on Twitter then put a compilation together of the Young Turks saying the N-word many, many times. Check it out.
I apologize. I know these are like difficult words to hear, but words like you are why I lost my job. He only shot run.
This or that. Okay, so they're like, all right, you cover that Jerry Rice look and then being a lazy. It don't give a time to learn his lesson.
White crackers.
Yeah.
Does that mean now we can say black?
how much context could there exist to say the word that many times? I mean,
so this guy is working for a racist network. That's what he said, right? That based on his standards, how context, we can only, what context do you have by saying it so many times? That's what he said. And when you go back 12 years and years and years and years of them screaming the N-word all over the place, they're not racist. We have to understand the context, right? We should understand the context. And matter of fact, this slapped them so hard that when they were covering the Peter Dinklage story and using the word dwarf, this is how they had to respond to it, because they were afraid that somebody was going to do that to them again. Check this out.
By the way, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be super authentic and vulnerable here. I don't know if it's even okay to say dwarf. Like, is that okay? I don't know.
So,
I don't want this to come back to bite me in the ass like 10 years later.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So look, I had the same question, and the articles clearly refer to dwarves. Will they later change the rule? Very likely. Will they then have video compilations of us saying the word and hold us guilty in hindsight?
Yeah.
Of course they will. And so am I referring to the left? Yes, I am, okay? And so it's an insane standard, it makes no sense. But since right now, as things stand, everybody is using the word dwarf, I guess we will too. So you can hold us guilty later and invent a time machine so we can fix it as well.
So at the end of the day, the Joe Rogan cancellation went horribly wrong for the left wing. It just did, right? It went from he's a racist, which everyone knows he wasn't, right? Everybody's like, no, Joe Rogan's no racist. That's ridiculous. Left-wing podcaster Joe Rogan is no racist. He votes Democrat, he votes left-wing. He is ideologically almost pure except for 2A. So we all knew that Joe Rogan was not a racist. But when it's slammed with their own hypocrisy in their face, now what do they say? Don't cancel us, right? Because we, something was right back then and not right now. And all of a sudden, now context does matter, right? The context, people are using the word in that way now. It's weird to see that they almost got canceled under their own stupid standard, right? Trying to cancel someone else. So I have no sympathy for TYT. They deserve everything they got, and they deserve everything they're going to get. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Am I being too sensitive? Am I being too hard on TYT? Because there are going to be people in the comment section who says, Nate, you're being too hard on TYT. Stop being so hard on them. Maybe I'm expecting more. Maybe I am being too hard. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, and I'm going to see you next time. Peace.